Welcome back to Out and About Today. I'm Pam Wheeler. I'm joined now by the Executive Director of the Tennessee Equality Project. Chris Sanders is here to celebrate 10 years of TEP and to guide us through this August election. Welcome back to the show, Chris.
Well, thank you for having me, Pam.
Can you believe it's been 10 years of TEP?
I can't. I remember those first meetings when we were all, as a community, thinking through these issues. And
so you've been involved since the
beginning.
Origin. And it's amazing to me to look back at 10 years and where the community was, or no, let's go with the organization, where it was a group of people that wanted change, had issues that they wanted to talk about, to now the organization is a well-oiled machine, represented, well, I know, it
doesn't always feel that way, but yes, I'm glad it looks that way from the outside.
Represented across the state, all kinds of moving parts.
Yep.
So take us back, just give us some of your reflections on accomplishments over the last 10 years.
Yeah, we, of course, were formed because the marriage amendment was moving through the legislature. We didn't win that fight, as everybody knows, although we ultimately will. But what the benefit has really been is change at the local level in so many cities and counties around the state. So, you know, when the 2009 Metro Ordinance passed, I think we had a much better level of organization as a community to fight for that. It was not an easy fight. There was a lot of resistance, actually. But we were able to marshal the resources in a systematic way to make sure we could support Councilmember Berry and the other sponsors and move that thing forward. And it became a model of how we move good legislation forward at the local level around the state. And with several non-discrimination and partner benefits ordinances later, I think we're seeing the fruits of that and really holding the line on the negative stuff in the legislature too. When you have that much local buy-in around the state, you have power to fight back in the legislature.
Talk a little bit about the most recent accomplishment of Metro passing the domestic partner benefits. The mayor just signed that into law. That's been a process. Things don't happen overnight.
No.
I mean, you know that.
It was on our first PAC survey in 2007, and your PAC survey is really your first vote count of where your support's going to be. And it was on the PAC survey again in 2011. And we would have worked on that bill in 2011, except that the contractor non-discrimination issue came up because of the Belmont situation. And that took all the energy, and it made it impossible to run another equality bill that same year. So that's really why we got delayed in Nashville. I'm glad we passed that contractor legislation. The state overturned it, but that's going to become the basis of a legal challenge that could give us all more workplace equality in Tennessee. So it all works out well. It just takes funny paths sometimes.
It does. So let's talk about August. On the TEP's website, the thing that you can't miss is this Yes Chattanooga and why that's so important. Might be the most important thing in August. That's what's written, at least. Why is that? Tell us about it first, what it is.
Yes Chattanooga is a campaign to preserve partner benefits in the non-discrimination ordinance for the city of Chattanooga employees. It was passed last year, and the Tea Party is challenging it at the ballot, and it will be on the August ballot. It's the most important thing, in my opinion. It's the only anti-LGBT ballot measure in the state, and as far as we can tell, in the country right now through August.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Yes, so this is really ground zero for equal rights right now. I mean, marriage is getting all the attention, and that's an important issue. But in terms of taking our community back, this is the thing in the country that we should all be focused on, I think.
So if we're focused on it, what does that mean that we do?
Well, there will be opportunities for phone banking remotely all over the state. And you can go to yeschattanooga.org to sign up for those sorts of volunteer opportunities, or you can contact TEP and we'll get you connected with them. Any contributions of any amount to that campaign will certainly be welcome. Again, yeschattanooga.org.
Okay.
So there will be ways to help.
Yeschattanooga.org. What other races do we need to pay attention to? And I'm sure you're going to say everything because you pay attention to everything. But maybe some of us who have a baby, we're not looking at it all. So what would you tell us to watch?
In a number of locations around the state, you've got important state legislative primaries in August. But really the big contests are going to be the general election in November, and that's we recommend voting in every election, obviously, bringing friends, but that's really where the battle for our equality will take place, is in November in those state legislative general election races.
So TEP, or the PAC part of TEP, doesn't come out and make endorsements at this point? It's too early, is that right?
Generally we don't. Now in the county general election in Shelby County we've got some endorsements. We may do some in Davidson County. We're not absolutely certain yet, but for the most part in primaries we do not endorse. That's correct.
Okay. And we're just down to 1 minute, so I want you to leave folks with the address of how they can find you and do stuff, but I want to get Chris Sanders' opinion, because we started off about marriage, and everybody is about marriage equality. What's your thought on when we're going to have it here and there's not going to be a fight any longer?
TNEP.org is where you find us, and when we're going to have it, the 6th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals, all the state's cases in that circuit are going to be heard on August 6th. We don't know when a decision will come after that, but it could come within a month, 2 months, who knows. What we're doing, Tennessee Ready for Marriage on day one is our program to work with local governments, to work with the community, to get volunteers involved so that we have an orderly day one of marriage equality here so that people can celebrate it joyously.
Well, thank you, Chris Sanders, for coming back on the show. We'll meet up with you again soon.
Thank you.
Now, when we come back, Chuck is here with a preview of the Tennessee Reps' upcoming season. Stay with us.